morning, children. Today we are going to continue with the same chapter, chapter number 7. The subtopic here is a story about Alfie. So first I am going to read the story about Alfie. Today I pushed through the weeds and found a big stripy balloon with a wicker basket hanging underneath. "Come on, Jed," I cried. Jumping into the basket, I untied a rope and the balloon rose high into the sky. Thick shifting clouds loomed before us. They formed into the shape of a monstrous ogre's face. Its grinning mouth opened wide and we were swept inside. Jed began to whine. "Oh, help! Watch out, boy!" I cried as our balloon was buffeted about, and we were thrown around the basket like clothes in a washing machine. Soon I couldn't tell which way was home. Suddenly we went spinning out of the cloud below us. Everything had changed, and now we were floating above a strange rocky landscape. So this is a story about Alfie. Okay? So what happens? Today he was pushed towards the weeds. Weeds means a place which was something wrong for him. Or you can say a plant which has grown in a wrong place. Okay? Then he found a big stripy balloon. Stripy means the different colors have been given to the balloons and with the wicker basket hanging underneath. Underneath means below the balloon. "So here, come on, Jed," I cried, jumping into the basket and tied a rope around, and the balloon rose high into the sky. So what happens when he tied the rope to the balloon and the balloon went high into the sky? And then we can see the shifting clouds appear before us and they formed in the shape of monstrous ogre's face. Means a very giant, horrid face was appeared and the face was of clouds. So its smiling mouth opened wide and we were swept inside. Now the Jed began to cry. He was in very worry what to do. So he started shouting, "Help us, help us," and he cried out. Now the balloon was banged out and we were thrown around the basket like clothes in a washing machine. How we used to put the clothes in a washing machine? Same thing happens with them. Now the balloon was banged about and they were put into the basket. But I couldn't tell now which way was the home. Suddenly we went spinner out of the cloud. Suddenly we came from the cloud and everything had changed and now we were floating above a strange rocky landscape. So what happens? This was again an adventure story. First of all, they were in a normal way and then they went to the monstrous ogre's face, that is the cloud. Okay? The next here is about the dragon hill. The dragon boy. You see, Lily, the villagers made fire to warm their homes and cook their food and make life good. So they chose the biggest, bravest man in the village. They gave him a fine spear and they called him Fire Snatcher. Madam, your great granda, Lily was Fire Snatcher and hero of the village. But how did he snatch the fire? Asked Lily. Well, Lily, dragons are strange creatures, said Granda. They lay their eggs, then sleep for a full 90 years until the eggs are ready to hatch. When that happens, the dragon mothers wake up to care for their babies. The dragons were in the sleep years when my dad was Fire Snatcher. All he had to do was tiptoe into the hills, then jump suddenly on a sleeping dragon and poke it with his spear. The poor beast would start from its sleep and blaze with fright, just as you or I could if anybody jabbed at us with a needle while we were sleeping. But it worked. It made the dragon roll fire. As it rolled, The fire snatcher thrust his torch of dry wood into the flare of the dragon's fiery breath to light it. So in the last session we had seen about the Pippa Goddard. The name of the author is Pippa Goddard, and he has wrote the story of Lily and his grandmother and grandfather. Now in this story, the story is of father who was a fire snatcher. Okay, so the Lily, here the villagers are saying that they need fire to warm their homes. Why? To cook their foods and make life good. In early days there were no gas, machines and were not there. Means this gas which we are using now. They need fire to warm their house. So they choose the biggest, bravest man in the village because Granda was the dragon hill lover. And same, the Lily father was born from him. So they choose him as the bravest man in the village, and he always used to carry weapons with him. Therefore they called him as a fire snatcher. So now, and he was considered as the hero of the village. So now the Lily was asking, but how did he snatch the fire? Snatch means how did he used to steal the fire or scrap the fire? So Lily, they are strange creatures, means odd. Granda said like this. You can say animal or person. So here we are dealing with dragons. So the Granda is saying that the dragons is the one who lay their eggs and then they sleep for 90 years until the eggs are ready to hatch. Means the eggs are ready to produce the young ones. So when this happens, the mother dragon wakes up to care for the babies. Then after 90 years they used to wake up to care for the babies, and then again they were in the sleep years. So then my dad was a fire snatcher. So what he was doing there, he was just creeping, walking very quietly into the hills, and then he was jumping suddenly on the sleeping dragons, the dragons who were in sleep for 90 years. And then he used to poke with them the spear. Spear means with his weapons. So now what happens, for example, if you are sleeping and your mother is poking with you a needle. So what happens now? You people get very angry, right? So the same thing happens here. When this happens, the dragon used to woke up, they used to roar the fire. Roar means they used to shout aloud, and from their mouth the fire used to come out, and as it roared, the fire snatcher thrust his torch of dry wood into the flash of dragon's fiery breath to light it. So he always used to roar him. Okay. So this was the story about the Lily's father who was a fire snatcher. Thank you.